Province of Singapore, so I connect too, and I'm currently also a subcommittee director of art and marketing for student quality program for Share of Asia 2016.
Hello everybody, my name is Nathan Chen. I'm from Robert Morris University, Illinois, United States. My background is I have an undergraduate school study in Taiwan, and I came to the United States and finished my doctorate degree there. Afterwards, I established pretty much in Chicago area. My area is pretty much focusing on interactive media design. And also, I started my own personal design studio in the late 1990s. Also, I'm a full-time faculty and professors now in universities. So I'm kind of really have a dual tracks of my careers.
Hi, my name is Nali Park from Korea, and my background is my bachelor's in the engineering, but later on I'm studying animation. Mostly like visualization and then something like a data. And right now I'm working for the Seoul government, and we are supporting all kind of the film festival and then the animation festival, also animation market. And recently we opened the esports stadium, and next year it's coming up the new animation center and then animation museum coming up. So we are supporting those kind of things. And I'm working also the analyzing and the studying of the supporting the creative industry in Korea.
Thank you. And well, before giving a question, I've known Rianti for many years actually, and she's been doing lots of volunteering, designing the graphic materials at SIGGRAPH as well. And if you see the student volunteers uniform, actually that's Rianti's design. So, well, Rianti, I can ask a question to Rianti. And did you actually experience any problems or any difficulties entering the computer graphic and the CG industry?
For me particularly, since I was from Indonesia, this CG industry is not established properly yet compared to another country in Asia. So the challenges will be how to actually start that from scratches.
So when was
it's I graduated in 2007, and at that time I already want to work in game, but we don't have a video game industry in Indonesia. So the only way for me to get into CG is actually to go overseas. And like other countries where you have kind of support community like SIGGRAPH, we don't have those, so that's the biggest challenge.
How did you know about SIGGRAPH?
Browsing in the internet, I also Googled about International Animation Festival. I think I know SIGGRAPH as well when I was looking for it, and yeah, I'm trying to volunteer from that.
So SIGGRAPH has a very great job fair, and I think the job fair was really helpful for you to get the position. So
yes,
if you are interested in having a job in overseas, so job fair would be great. Okay, so then next question. And do you have any advice or any idea to add? If anybody has any difficulties entering to CG industry, so anybody wants to share from your perspective?
My background before I went to Canada actually was in pure art, like theater performance and production and TV production. So after I went to Canada, I had the second bachelor degree in computer science. Then master, I focused on computer graphics. So that's how I started to have a research focus on computer graphics. And my PhD was in interdisciplinary research field, which the major was computer graphics. Then I could combine my interests or my background when I was back in China. So I did not really feel the difficulties to enter CG world. I feel that's only one thing you need to do is never stop your efforts, never stop making efforts. So, like I learned SIGGRAPH because it's a top tier conference in computer graphics, right? So I was in computer graphics. I hope one day we could have some publication here. So we start to have a publication 3 years ago, actually, from SIGGRAPH in Los Angeles. Then we again had the SIGGRAPH Asia as well last year course. So yeah, but a lot of efforts, I would say.
Well, yeah, I met Miao Song actually at the SIGGRAPH LA, like in 2015, I guess, 2014, and Miao showed like her great performance as a part of our CG in Asia session. So is it in the YouTube or is anybody?
Yeah, we had this on Vimeo and YouTube as well. So that's a real-time video and sound and like a voice recognition system called the Illimitable Space System for stage, and also same system can be for non-linear storytelling as well.
Thank you. Yeah, so well, great effort is the most important thing. So if you'd like to have your work present, please contact us. We can sort it out and we can have opportunity. We can make an opportunity to show your work to our CG in recent area. And for Darlene, well, I think this may be the good question for you because you work in the government side. So do you see many women in sort of positions in making the decision-making positions or higher position in decision-making or management?
In
Korea or in Korean government?
in government is a different case because in Seoul it's
Seoul government.
Yeah, it's Seoul government. Inside of this it's kind of the testing bed for the system. So we are really forcing to them to getting some good case from the other country, and then we trying to testing it first in the office. So in there is okay, but when because I have a friend or a client who actually in the industry, and then they facing this time I think it's the states in the middle of something the change. So they having a more hard time because they're encouraging to the woman to go to work and then doing something, and then but the system is not supporting is not enough. So we are trying, but it's getting better and better. But still I know my colleague they're really hard to get the nursery school to get into the we have always have a problem. But good thing is that it's the only one that the married the people they understand married female they understand each other. But right now because the male colleague also because his wife their wives having the same problem, so they more understanding and then they try to understand the situation. So getting better, but still when you see the leader or the manager, most of them male, and then we try to submit or something. I think everybody having facing same situation.
So are there sort of any new policies or initiative that the Korean or Seoul government is starting?
Yeah, we have some. It's not working well, some. But in our office, we are trying to make it 2 days. They have to go home earlier to go to to spending more time with them. They say is this program. Let's eat dinner together. That's a program. It's a new program. But
Are there any sort of working at home kind of program? Or
we have, but it's not easy. It depends on the work. The creative work is, I think it's a good thing too. The woman having work because you can work it at home. It's more easier than the other jobs. So I think we are after they having a mandatory leave like 6 months or something that they having baby. And then when they come back, we really encourage to educate this kind of area like CD or doing something with the computer or SMS, the laptop or something. So it's easier to if they can spend more time with their family or baby, and then they can work still, and they keep upgrading their whole skill and everything. So we're trying this and that, but something works and not. But,
Well, actually, I had a conversation with Darlene about these issues quite a lot before starting this session, and Darlene said that in Korea, CG industry is actually quite new. So the working in CG industry as a woman is actually, they have a better condition than working in other industry. But to me, well, I'm Korean. I was born in Korea, but I mainly worked in New Zealand and Australia, and CG industry is actually tougher than any other industry. That's what I found. So I don't know. I think it's quite interesting. What about other countries? Is a CG industry is a tougher or?
Let me share with a little bit insight what I observed over the years. Actually, I joined SIGGRAPH 2007. That was my first year. Okay. I realized, this is part of it. I will be able to contribute a little bit. I remember one of the directors actually we were in the bus, and then we have some conversation quickly. And the guy just next to me said, welcome, join here, because they really don't have much female there by the time. If you guys remember, almost 10 years ago in SIGGRAPH, and he just shook hands with me, just like, oh wow, cool. And he would say, come back, really excited. And then I was really lucky because the next few years, as a professor, I always do something, right there behind. I think the first things I really wanted to encourage, based on my personal experience, I really encourage all the young people, and even including male, female, really build your creative confidence. I think that's pretty much maybe one of the key things you will think. A lot of people say, hey, I'm really not a high-tech savvy, okay? I don't feel like I'm so good at programming, or I'm not so good artistically to do things here. Don't be afraid. There's always something there. But you have to really have your artistic, your creative mind inside. For example, people ask you to do, your client asks you to do something here and there. Just don't be afraid. As we say, try hard. And then your willingness is really the drive behind you to make things successful. And then being designers over the years, I feel like actually it's not how cool your project looks like, or how great your accomplishment. It's all about actually behind. Okay, so I feel like you really need to understand your clients, and you have to really work very hard with the users. And then I'm teaching some interaction design and user-centered design. Now it's really moving toward to design thinking, also incorporate into business model. So I work with business area as well. So I feel understanding about the users actually is really the key, really make the project successful. So I will encourage people really put yourself into someone's shoes. That's always makes things work. You've got to be a person really know how to understanding, how to observe, how to really communicate. So and then did a lot of research, of course. Okay. So this is one of the tips. And then the other things is talking about empathy. So the other tips I would say is really follow your heart. You are the only one. You wake up in the morning, every morning, and you ask yourself, are you really in this area, or you are just like, oh, this is just a job? In the past 20 years, I think that I'm the lucky person because I really like what I'm doing, and I feel like the area of interactive, design and something related to web, mobiles, technologies. Actually, there are all the different areas of the applications. That is what you are really trying to really work with your project and your work. And we're facing our challenge every day with education, especially higher education in the United States. And it's really critical. So I feel like that's just one of the things I would like to share. And the other thing I would really share with everybody probably is do something different. don't really make your life just every day like this, here and there. Okay, so this is more like my personal goal. Whenever I don't work, okay, I travel and I do things. I meet people, I talk to and interact with people, and also I learn something and open my eyes every time. When I go back to my work and my classroom, I feel I'm a new person. So every time I recharge, I refresh, and also I feel like there's something new here inside. Even I'm getting older, but this is something getting more. And you know, a lot of times when you work with project is not the way, okay, it's deliverable, but it doesn't mean you stop right there. Because a lot of times, what do? You iterate, right? You try, and then it's not working, what do? Do some testing. It's not working, you come back here. So it's really a lot of cycles really involved right there. And you just have a kind of drive, okay? Don't ever give up and just move on.
Thank you very much. Well, I actually thought that I was always lucky because I had like a great mentors in my life all the time. But I think that your students must be really lucky having you.
I don't know, maybe now. She's not here.
Well, yeah, so like a mentor is actually really important. Like the role of mentor is, like for me, always like really important. But I didn't really have like a always woman mentor only. Like my mentors were from. It's a bit difficult to, you know, like a sort of like say that like a female or male mentor. But do you have like a mentors for sort of like a struggle and help you to be in where you are? Because you guys are at least some certain successful people. And were there any female mentors too? So can you just talk about that, like any of you?
I have a mentor when I was at my first job in Ubisoft in 2009. Unfortunately, he's not a female. But he really encouraged me to get into the industry, give me the knowledge. Like in the end, the tools is just tools. Like CG will develop every year, and it's not about the technology that you're working on, but it's about the content. And he's he's also a really cool guy because when I'm designing character for him. He doesn't really like the over-sexualist characters. He stated in the first place, he said that, no, I don't want an over-sexual character. Everything has to have a reason over there. If there's his clothes, her clothes, it's like that, it has to be a reason. Whether, you want her to be, for example,
I'll answer your first question. I think from the example you gave, and also similar as the film industry, we still have a few, for example, film director, and also in research we have a less woman in R&D. So I think there are a few reasons. Like example, I had recently our research group will hire research assistant. So like all applicants were male students or boys. So where are the girls? So no girl apply. I think because again, back to my question before, there were less female students in this field as well. So I think your program for girls and also for next generation, I think we should encourage more girls to study science and engineering. So that's already from the pool. You don't have many female, so at the end, only few apply those positions in this video game industry, and then they take those roles with the less leading ability. I think another reason is maybe based on culture. So if based like a couple, they all have to go to conference. So if the man stay at home and take care of the kids, maybe you think it's a shame for the man. The woman should stay because the woman usually stay at home with the children. I think also there's a balance for work as well. So maybe that made women to be less encouraged to take the leading roles because that will be more responsibility at work. And then, of course, when you balance, it's less responsibility or time you spend at home. So recently I read a book from I think the executive director from Facebook, Sheryl Sandberg, Lin. I think in that book also already indicated a few the facts about the women themselves, because they always underestimate their ability. They may be too generous, or maybe they have difficulty to say no. I think all those may be a result of women take more comfortable roles or existing roles instead of the leading roles. I think that book also, after I read that, all the facts, I think that kind of lead me to encourage me or sit at the table more instead of, you far away. And so I think we need more such type of inspiring books and the speeches from those excellent women. Do I answer your question?
And we will also talk about this in the next session, in Girls in STEM, so you will find more answers in that next session. So thank you very much for joining in Women in CG session. And again, please feel free to be here for the next session. And otherwise, see you in next SIGGRAPH Asia, or SIGGRAPH first. SIGGRAPH 2017 in LA and SIGGRAPH Asia 2017 in Bangkok. Thank you.